back once again. Finally not doing a Graycove AU stream, even though they can be very, very fun. I am behind on doing comic pages, and I need one for July, and I haven't started it yet. So this is how I'm getting started. Hello, Jeremy. Control S. Thank you. Let me just end this poll. And it looks like we're doing the Something with Hyenas one, which I had absolutely nothing in mind. I didn't know what that was going to be like. It started to win. I came up with an idea. Yeah, no, we're behind on coloring pages, not comic pages. I'm about a week ahead on comic pages. Now, I did come up with an idea, which is funny, because I constantly tell the dudes at Red Pants that I hate drawing cars, and to not make me draw cars anymore, and that cars are the worst thing in the world to draw. And guess what we're gonna be doing? Terrible idea, buying a death pit. That would be pretty fun. I don't think that would be necessarily the best coloring page. We're not doing the lava house. We're gonna be doing some hyenas hanging out on and inside of an old abandoned truck, since that makes up a large portion of their outer wall. Sure, they can also be doing a cookout barbecue near the truck. That's fine. And like I said, I truly do despise drawing vehicles. There's something about it that just hits my brain completely wrong. But this is where we're at. The hyenas eat other animals, yeah. Do you mean other mammals? Because I don't think they would. But if you mean like birds, then yes. I mean, if they got desperate enough, survival comes first. Also, I should say very quickly, since the new comic page came out today, and there's the new one up on Ko-fi and Patreon, and I know at least Luke has seen the one up on Ko-fi, to not spoil anything for people who are reading it on Webtoon, because they just met Gordon in Ko-fi's page, and I don't want anyone to talk about Gordon yet. Yeah, no, of course. I figured, but I thought it would be still good to say. Okay, we're just gonna start by very roughly putting in this truck. One of the other options was Gordon has anger issues, guys. Yeah, you're not wrong. What was I saying? Oh yeah, one of the other options for the coloring page was going to be to continue working on that bird festival page, but I'm not sure if I really am liking it or not. I like aspects of it, but it's just really busy to look at. I think it needs to be simplified a bit more, or like the perspective needs to change something. It's just a lot to look at. So I'm gonna kind of shelf that one for now and eventually come back to it. But I tried opening it at some point, and I just got overwhelmed just looking at it. Finish it, we need Night Bean. Yeah, I know. One of these days. I'm already off to a bad start. This does not look good. This needs to be a bit wider. I'm also going to try to avoid making it a recognizable brand of truck. So if someone is looking at this and they're a nerd for vehicles and they're like, wow, this looks exactly like blank, I don't know, like Ram or Ford or whatever, call me out so I can get rid of anything that's too identifiable. I just want this to look like a just truck. Not like specifically like one. I was planning on opening the hood. But I was gonna have like plants coming out of it. Cybertruck. I don't know, Marshall looks like 4 GMCs here to me in light beige. Dang it. But yeah, basically I'm gonna draw this. This looks like the truck brand, Marshall. Get rid of everything. Basically I'm gonna draw this as a regular truck first, and then we're going to destroy it after the fact. So we're gonna start taking stuff off, making parts rusty, denting some stuff, but I want to get the shape in first so that we know where everything is supposed to be, so then we can decide how to ruin it, basically. I find that can be a helpful process, especially if I'm drawing something I'm not super familiar with, like a truck, because I don't know if anyone could tell. There's a hyena under the hood just chilling. But yeah, some of the destroyed cars in parts of the hyena chapter, I just did like dunk, little thing, windshield, stuff, metal, and I don't know if it was easy to tell that I didn't know what I was drawing or not, but I didn't. Marshall drawing car, no way. Yeah, I know. I truly do hate it, and I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but this felt like the best idea for hyenas. Okay, some kind of bumper thingy, and they usually got a thing. This will be an open tailgate, so there can be like a hyena standing back here doing something. Okay, this is way too long. Let's fix that and make it a bit taller. Doing good so far? Okay, well that's good. There's just something about drawing cars that I don't like. I think it's because, like, you still have to follow kind of like perspective lines and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's not quite the same as making a room, where a room is just like straight lines and then like corners and, you know, easy enough to figure out. But this has like too many rounded shapes that also need to follow perspective lines. But I don't know. The headlights are giving him a real clinker facial expression. That's funny. Awesome work. Thank you. By the way, wrist update, guys. Things are going great. It is not healing, and I have a new cast that hurts to wear. Oh no. For cars, it's just a lot to keep track of, so I get it, bro. Yeah, it's just too much. There's too many lines. I was gonna make a joke about simplifying the design, but that's how we got Cybertrucks, and they're ugly, so I don't know. Go back to the old-timey, like, round car look. It's fun. Modern cars are kind of boring. Some kind of grill or something. I don't know. Lines. Hyena's destroying a Cybertruck. Excellent. Okay, that's a good enough base for this truck, I think. And now we're gonna decide how we want to destroy it. Just a little bit, I think. Hey, microwave. I drew a Porsche and posted it on the community tab. I deleted the post because I can't get the tires to be the same shape. Fair enough. Okay, so first, let's get rid of these doors, I think. No doors. It's just gonna be open like this. And I probably should have found a reference picture for what the inside of a truck looks like. But that's okay. We're gonna be guessing. I've been in trucks before. I think I can remember. I've been drawing the hyenas a lot recently. They're super fun to do. I don't know why. They all just bring me joy. That's good. Happy to hear it. Been practicing drawing for Art Fight. Nice. Sounds fun. He definitely didn't simplify the design of a truck and get the Cybertruck. His direct quote is, "Cybertruck will reach far into a post-apocalyptic future and bring that technology now." Yeah, that's a weird thing for the world's richest man to say. Cool. Great to know what your goals are, my guy. Because the hyena trunks are secret. Okay, usually they got a little handhold here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that, but I'll leave it for now. All of these tires are going to be flat. You should be a little bit wider, I think. I'll just do like a basic. That looks bad. We're not doing that. Crispy is a Grazel shipper marshal. I'm guessing that's Griffin Hazel. I have proof. Imagine having that advantage. It's like driving a tank for them. I don't think any car that they would find would be working because of how long it's been since they've had any upkeep, you know? Even if they were in like a special storage or something, I don't think they would work without being like fixed up. It's a hazel grass ship. Because she loves eating grass, actually. Marshall, I hope you don't accidentally join the unofficial Graycove Discord. I'm not planning on joining the Discord. Like I said, I feel like that's for you guys. And also, I just really have a special hatred for group chats. And none of you need that energy. No leaks from Discord. Yeah, I get it, group chats are the worst. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. I'm in a couple because I have to be. So like one for work like D&D group has one for scheduling, and like that stuff is all good and fine. But like anytime I've joined a group chat where it's not, guys, you heard it, Marshall isn't joining because she hates us personally, doesn't want to draw for us anymore. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, any group chat I've joined that hasn't been for a specific purpose, I found I just got so annoyed anytime I'd get a message. Even getting like text messages that aren't in a group chat, just in general, if they're not important, I find them kind of annoying. Or like, if they're not from Jasper. Only, I guess I should say only if I'm like working. If I'm working and I get interrupted because my phone keeps going off, then I get mad. I don't ignore Jasper. Marshall hates me when I text. That's so mean of you. Neglected. Wait, what am I doing? I want to pop this hood open. Okay. This one I actually will need a reference picture for, which I probably should have pulled up before the stream started. And this is nowhere near the same type of truck that I'm looking at, but that works. Okay. Come forward a little bit. Let's have it cut across like this, I think. Corner should be about here. Yeah, good enough. The car is looking like a shape. That's why I don't send any emails to you, Marsh, unless I have actual big stuff from the game to share. Everything else is either community page or not shared. That's fair. I have that annoyance issue too. Yeah, that's valid. Like, I'm not gonna tell people not to send me emails if they think what they're sending is important by any means. Especially because, like, I only check my email, like, maybe once a day or so. Unless I'm, like, specifically waiting for something. It's specifically texts while I'm trying to work that I get annoyed by. I was a big fan of Rockwall. Yeah, I like coming up with Russell's horrible misspellings. Are we drawing Ford F-150s tonight? I had to double check to make sure the reference picture I was looking at wasn't actually a Ford. It's not. Nice try. I'm looking at a couple different pictures of different trucks. We're cooking fish on the engine, don't you forget it. I don't know how they would... Do they just light a fire under the truck? How are they heating it up? Because they can't run the engine. It does not work. Looks like a Ford Ranger. LOL. It definitely is not. Okay, they fully just lit a fire underneath this truck. Fire under truck. Yeah, okay. That's gonna be really annoying, but you got it. I'm gonna bump up the front of the truck then a little bit so it's not quite as low to the ground. Take the bumper off if that helps. I don't know how taking the bumper off would help. It's a fire truck. Okay, another flat tire over here. Fire? More space to show fire. Yeah. I guess they would have just laid down some like wiring of some kind. And throw down some like fish. You can only get that nice rusted metal taste in your fish when you cook them like this. That's healthy, right? It adds flavor. My favorite flavor is mercury. Okay, and then one sec, what does a truck look like without its bumper? Quite silly, actually. Yeah, we can do that. That's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Foster adds motor oil to her chicken because she thinks it's special sauce. Fuzzy dice question mark. See, the thing is, I'm trying to make this, because most of the time, if you look up a picture of like a rusted, abandoned truck, they're older models, like exclusively. So we're trying to make this look like it's a modern truck you'd see someone like buy fresh off the lot today, but as the like super rusted, falling apart, missing stuff, smashed up. Black ice air freshener? Yeah, that works. That's something you see. And this part is like snapped off. You can see more of the wheel here. I know absolutely nothing about the underside of trucks, so if you're like, Marshall, that doesn't look right, keep it to yourself. I know that it's wrong. I'm doing my best with reference pictures of completely different models of trucks. I think a hyena would use a black ice air freshener in their armor. Yeah, it's just the person where their entire armor is like scale mail, but it's just air fresheners in the shape of trees. What if they take the grill off the front and heat that up? That would probably work. Now I gotta find a picture of a truck without a grill on it. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I'm looking at a reference picture of a truck without a bumper on it. Why can't I find one without the grill though? Oh, that works. Okay, yeah. You could look up one missing the bumper. Yeah, I'm looking at a reference picture right now. It's kind of hard to see details. That's the problem. So some of it, are just going to be vague blobs of shape. Okay, so wheel, and then like a thing. I'm just gonna block in the shadowy parts so it's easier for me to differentiate between things. It's also hard because all of the reference pictures I'm looking at are from completely different angles. I could see the hyenas using real car seats as a bed. Some car seats in real life can fold all the way down. Yeah, that's fair. The problem is, they would be really moldy and like decomposing, most likely, depending on what they're made out of, I guess. And I don't really know how individual types of fabric or leather decompose with time. Especially with like a lot of trucks, it's not like real leather, it's like pleather. Add bricks under the pickup, like a support. Yeah, maybe on the back tires. Leather is just skin. These weird holes. Probably where bolts go in to hold it in place. Or something. Dried skin. Yeah, but I don't know what the lifespan of pleather looks like. Okay. Kind of like this shape, I believe. This car is gonna look so terrible and messed up. Actually, yeah, we're gonna leave this as a buffer for shape. Fun fact about cars: if a car was alive and it ate the matriarch, then the car automatically becomes the leader of the hyenas. False. Only a hyena can become a leader of the hyenas, or become a matriarch. So, like, if Hazel rolled up and killed the matriarch for whatever reason, she would not be the matriarch. The hyenas then would have to fight it out amongst themselves to pick their next matriarch. Like a giant game of capture the flag, but with death, you know? Oh no, not the hyena perch. Yeah, pretty much. Hyena Squid Games. Precisely. Okay, I don't know what any of this junk is. Being a matriarch is the most dangerous job, I guess. It is. Yeah. I think I said it to Crispy at some point, but matriarchs don't have the luxury of dying of old age. Okay, looks like there's some kind of vent here or something. Can you guys entertain the idea of Hazel as the matriarch? What would be her subjects than other deers or mammals? Would this grill meet or exceed health and safety regulations? I may need to call the health department. It's kind of a fire line. Thank you. Also, I don't think we mentioned like Hazel as the matriarch unless that was for like a Graycove AU stream. I don't think Hazel would want to be a leader in that, like, not to the same extent of like the Graycove King or the matriarch. That's a lot of responsibility. Has like a weird pipe looking thing. Her support, I don't know what that is. I don't know, I'm just making up shapes at this point. That's probably fine. Let's just shape this in a bit. Put their fire under here. Good enough for now. Now I'm talking about like we're discussing AUs and Hazel as the matriarch was brought up. Fair enough. Yeah, Graycove is the AU, where Hazel is a loyal and grumpy guard who lost their best friend, and Hazel is an upbeat newcomer who annoys Hazel. I don't like the mental image of that. That feels wrong. Maybe we'll get rid of this headlight too. Imagine Griff smiling. Ugh. Are you gonna make the broken edges of the windows and also make them real life accurate? I mean, I'll look up a reference picture so I try and make the cracks in the window look accurate. That is one of those things where I find if I'm like just winging it with window cracks, sometimes they just end up looking really weird and unusual. I mean, I think I've drawn him smiling at least once somewhere. In one of the shorts, probably. Okay, and then some wires sticking out. No, Drug Riff is a dude who loves feminist literature. Is he ever happy? I mean, he was a child at some point, probably then. Oh, you're asking Luke. Gotcha. Imagine Hazel meets evil Hazel in an alternate dimension. Kind of like Doofenshmirtz in that one Phineas and Ferb special. I have an idea. Make the spot where the bed and cab connect collapse inward slightly like the frame was rusted so badly it snapped or bent. I don't think I quite know where you mean, and I don't know how to draw that or what to look up to find a reference picture. Okay, there it is. Is that more of an angle, I think? Okay, what do you think they should be doing back here? Because this is kind of just going to be open, and there's probably going to be a hyena sitting in here. And I had an image of my head of like two of them playing cards or something. The hot tub. Air guitar. I don't think the back of a truck is sealed to be waterproof like that, so I'm not doing hot tub. That's wrong too. It can be if you put a tarp in it. Lots of duct tape. Yes, it can be. Marshall, my brother. Fight Club. Like a lot of duct tape. Hi, Phil Swift here with Flex Seal. Okay, let me look up the back seat of the truck. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, finally a good reference picture. Jeez. Since flex tape is waterproof, if you coat your lungs in it, you can breathe underwater. Yeah, that's how it works. That sounds perfectly safe. Anyone can breathe underwater once. Buddy Eric did that, I miss him every day. That looks great. And then this one is going to be up on this cinder block. Counterpoint, it's a lot of hyenas. And this truck is messed up. Marshall had a tree in the trunk. That doesn't really work if they're cooking fish in it. That was my original idea. Wait, Marshall, maybe have a child hyena sitting on the grass, joyously watching a DVD player laptop. They're watching Bob's Burgers. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I might do that. That's a fun idea. We probably should start sketching in the hyenas next. Okay. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Let's save real quick. See ya, Beluga. Thanks for joining us. Hyenas revived the iPad baby phenomenon. Maybe... Trying to decide if I want to have the first hyena like checking on the food or checking on the fire. I was kind of thinking it'd be fun to have like some of them playing cards or something. And then I do like Crispy's idea of having like a kid doing something. I don't know if I want them to be watching like a DVD player, but playing in the grass or something could be fun. And think about it a little bit and just add some grass details real quick. Make this part kind of ashy so it looks like they've done this before. What card games would the hyenas play? No peek. It's the first one I thought of. It was my looking ashy my guy. My grandma taught me how to play no peek when I was a kid. Except she was big into cheating in card games, so she always called it take a peek. And her rule was that if you're allowed to cheat in like card games as long as you don't get caught. Important life lessons with grandma. So there's a period of time where I'd play card games with my friends after school, and we'd always play No Peek, and we'd play for like chocolate bars and like treats. And I cleaned up. I got so many treats out of my friends. And that was without cheating. I was just really good at that game. Marshall, was your grandma perhaps the matriarch? No, but that is funny. She does not fit what the matriarch looks like at all. She is the tiniest lady on the planet. But she's hilarious. She'll go on hikes, and she'll take just like a horde of animals with her. None of them are on leashes. None of them are like fully trained with good recalls, but there'll be like 4 dogs, a mini horse, a turkey, and she's just walking up into the hills with them to disappear for an hour or so. And it's the funniest thing. Why does she have a turkey? She has multiple turkeys, but one of them she just treats more like a pet because it's smaller and it can't go into the main pen with the other turkeys yet. Yeah, they're also for eating. She had goats at one point. My cousin, one of my little cousins, like, fell in love with one of the goats. She just adored it. And then the next time they came by, my grandma fed that goat to them for dinner. Name all of her pets now. There's way too many. And, like, some of them are for food. So, like, she'll have, like, 10 chickens, and then she'll have 8 chickens, and then she'll buy more and have, like, 20 chickens. Yeah, Firefly is the horse. She has 4 dogs. Troy, Tico, Jade, and oh gosh, what's the shepherd's name? Oh, this is gonna... Does the horse have blue eyes? No, I don't think so. Yeah, Jasper hates the horse. Can the horse talk? No. That would be a marvel of science if it could. It cannot. I don't think the horse has blue eyes. I think it has brown eyes. It's more like a pony than a mini horse. Like, it's... You say mini horse, and like you picture the ones that are like the size of a dog. She's a lot bigger than that. Is your horse the same horse from horsing around? Nah. Horses amuse me. That's fair. I used to do horseback riding at like some place once a week when I was a kid. And I was solid enough at it, and we stopped going to lessons just right when they were about to teach me how to do barrel racing, which would have been fun, but oh well. Place mentioned. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a like big ranch or something where they did horseback riding training, but they also like they would help people break their horses, and I think they sold cattle. I don't know. They did a lot of stuff. My grandma's an ex-cop and she taught me how to drift a car and do J-turns and stuff. Nice. That's sick. My grandma was kind of the sweetest old lady I knew. That's all I can share. That's fair. Wait, so your grandma's Hazel? Okay. It would be kind of funny if one of these seats were back and one of the hyenas are just taking a nap in it. But I already drew it upright, and leaning it back would probably be a pain. How do I want to pose this? Just have their head peeking out. I mean, we could have one like napping in the back seat. That's too big. I mean, hyenas are pretty large. They're just snoring away or something. This would be terrible for your neck. We could have, okay, we could have one of the hyenas like holding up a kid so that they can look at the fish in the truck. Please add Ruskin. Yeah, we can add Ruskin. That's fine. My return was prophesized. Looks like Ruskin wedges his way into yet another Marshall stream. Ruskin update. No worse, we don't get it. We need Ruskin. We can't do anything without Ruskin. We go through withdrawal without Ruskin. Yeah, I could see that. You guys really like him. Low-key occult. I don't know if I would go that far. We do have a cult planned for later, but I'm not gonna say anything more about. Marshall to EP to be a cult leader. I don't have the charisma to be a cult leader. And we could have, since you guys want to see him so badly, we could have Ruskin sitting up here. I was in a cult once. Does the cult by any chance have a lamb? No. Not the one we have planned anyways. But the one we have planned won't come up till like book 2, so you'll see it in about 10 years. Book 2. Yeah, we have like multiple book ideas for Graycove. Not all of them are like the main cast. They're like a separate thing just in the same universe, and we wouldn't be getting to that until we're finished with their story. So in like 20 years. It's gonna be a long time. We're on chapter 7, and it's been like 2 years so far. Okay, I have to look up a reference picture of Ruskin because it's been a very long time. Yeah, they're like different story arcs, so we've been thinking of them in books, but... So I expect book 1 to be completed in 7 years. Hopefully. I pray I will finish in time for my mission. When is your mission? Like 2 years? I mean, we'll see where we get. We're working on it as fast as I'm capable of working on it at this time. I think the good news is, even though we definitely won't be finished in time for your mission, we'll still be here after your mission. Yeah. Probably. Just remember that I'll always be and forever be #1 Griff supporter. Fair enough. At the moment, I don't think anyone's fighting you for that position, but we'll see. Are there types of candy in Graycove? We know Clive had powdered donuts, but donuts are candy. I mean, they would definitely have like honey candies. Those are really easy to make. It's literally just honey, some butter, you cook it in a pot till it's like boiling, and then there's a few other steps, but like ingredient wise it's like 2 things that are pretty accessible, I'd say. I'm back. Let me guess, Marshall revealed the entire plot of chapter 7. Yep, I gave away every single spoiler, and then somehow managed to delete all of those clips from the live stream, so you'll never see it again. It was crazy. Marshall recited all the lines verbatim and did accents for all the characters. Off topic of a question, but are there any trans characters? At the moment, I think we just have the one that's not technically in the comic yet. We've only seen her in the shorts, but that's that fanged water deer. And that was partially an accident, because I didn't realize that only the male deer get fangs. But now I'm leaning into it because I like that as a character. I do have, like, the concepts in mind of what I would like to see for different trans characters of, like biologically female deer buying shed antlers so that they can wear, like, headbands and stuff with antlers on them. And, like, lions either making themselves manes or, like, shaving them off. And, like, different kind of ideas like that. And there's probably a bunch more I could do, but those are, like, the two that popped into my head, which has the fanged deer. The one where Russell yells beak, it's an audio clip from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But that is going to be a character in the webcomic coming up, probably in 1 or 2 chapters. When will that coyote that was helping Russell Order appear? I'm not sure yet. I do want her to be in the comic. And I think I technically hid her in, like, one of the backgrounds, but, like, there was so much shadow at the end of it, I don't think you can technically see her. I see her now, so that's Azalea? Yes. That is the name I picked, right? Yes, it is. I have it on the board next to me, written down so I don't forget. Is there a limit on size for sentience? No. Yeah, board mentioned it's next to me, but it's behind a box, so I can only see a couple of notes on it. Oh, I just had a funny idea. I don't know how well it would fit. Of, like, the matriarch, like, sunbathing on the roof of the truck. Like, they brought a chair up there for her. Yeah, tardigrades aren't mammals or reptiles, so tardigrades would not be sentient. But that's a species thing and not a size thing. But, like, mice are sentient. Fun viral challenge. Read off everything on the entire board. No. Not gonna do that. Maybe the chair is just, like, strapped on. So this window's all broken. just to make sure the matriarch doesn't fall off. You know, safety is super important to them. I don't remember what lawn chairs look like. It's the kind that can like folds back so you can like semi lay down on it, but not fully lie down, which I always found kind of frustrating. Also, they would all be a little big for a regular lawn chair. That's fine. Ruskin's gonna be reading to them? Yeah. Okay, I need to draw folded legs from this perspective. Maybe kind of overhanging because she'd be, again, a little too big for this chair. Oh wait, no, she can't do that. We'll have one leg be up a little. Her good leg will be up. Ruskin is reading a whole Bob's Burger episode script because too much screen time is bad for growing yeans. Ruskin is probably full-sized. Yeah, he is. He is a grown adult. He's not like a child. He's little because he's a striped hyena. Ruskin can be the matriarch as a treat. Unfortunately, Ruskin would not survive as a matriarch. He's a grown man. He is a grown man. Aardwolf, yeah. Maybe she has like a big cup of presumably some kind of alcohol. Ruskin would be a red mist 0.1 seconds into being the matriarch. Yeah, literally. Okay, I think I can't, or I don't want to make the canvas any larger because I'm trying to follow the same size dimensions for all of these in case we wanted to get them printed one day, then they all fit on the same page size, so I'm gonna have to shrink everything down a little bit. Just to fit these guys a little bit better. Ruskin is like the girlfriend from episode 1 of The Boys if he ever stepped to Mother. Yeah. Doesn't the matriarch specifically want Ruskin to learn violence? To an extent, because they respect violence a lot and they respect physical strength, but that wouldn't be expected of him, both because of his size and gender. So she would be proud of him, but if he actually stepped to her out of necessity because of how they live, she would have to immediately kill him. Not like violence, but she wants him to learn like violence in general. Yeah, fair enough. That's true. Okay, let's the opacity down, and I have to open up some of the comic pages real quick to remember what they all look like. It's been a few minutes since I've drawn any of them. Where's my best matriarch pose? This one works. Okay. I know they value emotional strength instead of physical strength. Okay, let's turn the opacity down on all of this a little bit more. And I'm gonna start cleaning up the hyenas. Just rough sketches. Ooh. Okay, thanks for saying that, because Matriarch may or may not have physical conflict with Ruskin in the game. Now I feel like I'm writing things well, lol. That's good. Happy to help. Okay, let's start with the Matriarch. I haven't drawn her in a while. So this is fun for me. Wait, how many hair tears does she have? Okay, 3. Marshall, I need you to like stop the thunder and lightning, please. Okay. It's gonna take 5 to 10 minutes. This slide lightning is like unacceptable. Bro, I'm so scared of lightning. I really like lightning. It's fun for me. I enjoy thunderstorms a lot. I mean, when they knock out the power and then I have to cancel streams, they're really annoying, but I like power outages and storms on any other day. Lightning makes me get back in the mood of working. Lightning makes me want to not work because I want to then enjoy the lightning in the storm. And we have a couple of skylights in our place that are wonderful specifically for storms and rain, but they are obviously not in my office space, so if I want to enjoy them properly I have to go to the other room. Especially when you can feel them shaking the house. Yeah, that's how you know it's a good storm. Only the metro has the power to shake my house somehow. Yeah, we don't often, like, we don't get big storms that often in general, but especially the, like, shake the house kind of storms, we get very, very rarely. Honestly, the hardest part of the game right now is script writing. Writing dialogue for the main three is fun, but I have to go back to the comic to make sure they would even say that. It's a lot of respect to the original writing. But we appreciate the effort put in to try and keep their voices accurate. What are Ruskin's opinions on lightning? I feel like he would not like lightning. I feel like a lot of the animals wouldn't like lightning specifically because they have such sensitive hearing that, like, the thunder part of it would probably be a little distressing if it's particularly loud. And, like, not all of them would have perhaps, like, a good understanding of, like, intense storms, of, like, what causes them and, like, where the lightning is gonna strike, because humans can know, like, oh, a lightning rod, like, different places are safe from it, but they wouldn't necessarily know. I haven't thought about this fully, so I'm just saying all of this off rip. So ignore me a little bit. Okay, I don't think she'd be wearing her lion pelt here, so I'm not gonna draw that in. Imagine how traumatized the animals would be if lightning struck their homes. Who's next? It could be you, it could be me. Yeah. Also, I've always wondered, are those live bullets on the Matriarch's necklace? That seems really dangerous. I mean, I drew them like live bullets, but considering they have like... they probably are live bullets, to be honest. That should be a story, to be honest. Maybe Hazel just loves lightning and everyone else hates it. She has very sensitive hearing, so I don't know if she would like the sound of it. This is a really weird angle to be drawing. Ugh, I don't care for it that much. It's okay. Okay, this is a better reference, I think. Imagine if she got too close to a fire and one of those bullets got close to the heat. I mean, they are all kind of pointing away from her, depending on how she's sitting, because like sitting like this one would go into like a leg or something. This one would go into an arm, maybe overarm. So like depending on which one went off, she might be fine. Oh, that's a good point. They would just explode because it's not in a barrel. I wasn't even thinking of that. That's so dumb of me. There's nothing to control the explosion, so all of the force from the gunpowder would just go outwards. I should know that. Yeah, so maybe she would be cooked. I don't know. Maybe it goes off on the messed up side of her face. And just mess it up further, but like, that's fine. She already can't see out of that eye. Yeah, that's the secret of how she actually lost her eye. That's why the one side of her face is actually messed up. Ignore that entire panel from The Life of the Matriarch, where she's fighting the lion. It was actually just bullet. Worst case scenario, it would severely injure her neck. Probably, and like, she would probably die very quickly if one of them went off. It's blowing up against her neck. Can't put a tourniquet around that one. Yeah, not really. So make the matriarch weak against fire damage, noted. That's funny. Maybe we'll give her like a pillow or something hanging off the side here. Just because it kind of looks like her head's tilted up a little too far, but I think tilting back against the chair there would probably hurt. Does Matriarch spar? Probably not in her current state, but she definitely would have at one point. Okay. Okay, what does her knee thing look like? There it is. Her iconic leg thing, yes. The knee brace. With her iconic Party City skull. Yeah, she found it in a Party City store, but it is a legitimate skull. It was one of the workers. You know how it is. You find a skull, you gotta keep it. Started streaming 104 minutes ago. Yeah, it is already 8 o'clock. We probably won't be completely finishing this today, but we'll at least get like a solid start to it. I mean, I already want to hang this up on my wall. Fair enough. Maybe I'll do a coloring page version with the usual. Hey Marsh, did we ever show a bell tower in the comic? No. I'm gonna say no. Yeah, maybe we'll do a coloring page version, and then maybe I'll do a larger, like finalized, fully rendered, like poster version. 'Cause that could be fun. Yeah, I mentioned one in chapter 1. I don't think we ever actually showed it though. which I should probably do, because that feels important. I think I'll bug you for the finished version of this later when you do it. Nice. Doing a complete finished version will probably take a while, but okay, her leg would be a little bit smaller than this. I don't mind it, you're doing a whole comic and these streams, absolutely no pressure. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely get to it eventually. It's just hard to say when, and like I'm doing work for Red Pants right now, so I have a bunch of work on my plate that's due Monday. So I have to finish drawing the interior of like a train depot or something. I don't know. I'm making it up as I go. I don't know anything about trains. I'm doing my best. It looks like I know what what I'm doing about trains, so that's all that matters. Incredible, you might have accidentally canonized it by accident, lol. You mean the bell tower? Because there's a bell, because they talk about there being a bell. I just haven't actually designed it or showed where it is. I'm not a professional artist, but I think the rule of art is just as long as you look like you know what you're doing, then you're good. Yeah, that's all that really matters, to be honest. And like the thing I'm working on right now is just like initial concept art for a location for their show. So it's not... What was that? Sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna quickly save because this program's acting a little strange all of a sudden. Okay, that's right. Alright, one of my screens just turned off. Or didn't turn off, but it lost the connection. You know, I saved, it's fine. It's not a... It's a problem with the TV. Okay, that's fine. I have like a TV that I got for free from my parents because they didn't want it anymore hooked up to my laptop as like a third screen for reference pictures, but for some reason it just lost input, so I can't see from it now, but that's okay. Okay, there we go. Can't have another Russell room design stream accident. Yeah. They don't have an autosave thing. They do have like an autosave. It's set up now. It is set up. It was technically set up for the Russell thing. I just didn't realize it yet. But it saves it as like a, when you open up the program again, then it reopens what you were working on, and it saves every like 10 minutes or so. Also, with the ads, we decided, since everyone was getting so annoyed by them, to just turn them off completely. It seems like everyone was getting really annoyed and like getting slammed with really loud audio all of a sudden. And to be honest, we were making like $3 to $5 on the ads per stream. So ultimately, it was just not worth it for the amount of annoyance it was giving you guys. Oh, that's very little. Yeah, we thought it would do better, but it didn't, and that's fine. Yeah, why need ads when you have Crispy, right? I mean, that was not our mindset. We just don't want to be needlessly annoying people, you know? Especially for $5, it's not worth it. Okay. Now her weird foot thing. I should specify you're very considerate of us. Yeah, I mean, I don't want people to be leaving the stream just annoyed. That's not the point of them. I do feel bad a bit. I wasn't bothered to the point of being upset. It wasn't just you, Crispy, though. It was like a lot of people were saying like, oh, the audio for the ads are suddenly really loud. And like they're just popping up all of a sudden, and like, you know, they were feeling too frequent. So it's like, yeah, no. And yeah, we get like, I don't actually check how many people at a time. Like usually I feel like maxing out around 30. If we're getting like hundreds of people and the ad revenue was worth it, then maybe. But we're just here to draw and chat about the comic. But look what you guys did. Marshall just lost $5. Like, ultimately, we do get people who just, like, see the stream happening and hop in to see what's going on and then decide to follow us or, like, join our Patreon, whatever. So, like, in the long run, we're making money off the streams because of that. But again, this is more so just to make art and talk about the comic and get people excited about the comic. And like talk about the weird ideas that we want to do but don't have time for. Once I get my money up, I'll stop being selfish by buying food and give it all to Marshall. Please don't. We don't want anyone to donate if they don't have disposable income. Just photosynthesize. This needs to be a little bit lower, and she usually has like a belt. And that'll better show kind of where her hips are supposed to be, since they're kind of brick shaped. Yeah, Marshall Jasper, I'm now living in a box hugging my Hazel plush as my only source of warmth. Please make those $100 worth it, please. Yeah, just for you, Crispy, you got it. Can't even send photo of the plush now, no Wi-Fi. That's too bad. If you did make one of the plushies, we would love to see it. We've only seen a couple so far, but they're really fun. We really enjoy seeing them and seeing how they turn out. So if you make one, please post it to the community page so that we can see it. In my head, I read that as Jarshal Masper for some reason. Ship names for two engaged people. Yeah, that is another thing that's kind of slowing down my work output, is there's a lot of wedding stuff, like planning and things, that interrupts, you know, my work day of like having to get back to people or emailing or like calling places and like just looking at the planning of it and all. Wedding? Yeah, Jasper and I are getting married in October, so probably somewhere around September we're gonna be taking a break from streaming and posting. Yeah, that doesn't look that bad. Should probably figure out this chair better. Oh my god, congrats. Yeah, we've been engaged for many, many months now. Thank you. Because I like bragging about it, Jasper proposed to me with a sword. I expect a place at the wedding where I can park my box, Marshall. I'm so sorry. You're on the wait list, or what is it called? Short list? Yeah, a claymore and a dirk. I got 2 swords. I'll just look up a lawn chair really quickly so I can see the specifics. Yeah, no, I got 2 swords. I really lucked out. Because the claymore is huge. It's like 6 feet long, and I am not 6 feet tall. So he got me a dirk as well, because it's a more of a short sword that's easier for me to hold. Actually usable as a weapon, unlike the claymore. But I'm hoping we can have both of them at the wedding. We want to hang up the sword like over the arch and then get it. Yeah, it's like a big dagger or like short sword. They're big for, I don't know what the proper terminology is. Will you duel to the death at your wedding? Yeah, but with my least favorite relative. Probably. But yeah, afterwards we want to get the claymore engraved with our wedding dates on it. Marshall, I should totally do the music for your wedding on peak. Appreciate the offer. We're going with a playlist. Techno remix of the Star Spangled Banner. So you're banned from the wedding. Explicitly. There will be a sniper waiting for you at the entrance. Yeah, you're all banned from the wedding. Exactly what Jasper just said. None of you are invited. We don't want you guys to know where we live, no offense. Yeah, no shite. Oof, actually, I don't like how that looks at all. It's probably a good choice. All I Can Play Is Never Gonna Give You Up. Chlorine by Car Seat Headrest and Thomas and Friends theme song. That's a wild list of songs to know how to play. I can slowly play the oboe solo at the beginning of Samson. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. You know, we're just doing a playlist, keeping it simple. Put Never Gonna Give You Up on the playlist? Absolutely not. Marshall, you should read Wings of Fire. It's peak cinema. I mean, I sold so many copies of the series. It's very long. I don't often want to read middle school books. There are a couple that I've read or want to read. I think we might just do no music. I can't trust Marshall to playlist. Okay, rude. And we're gonna be making the playlist together, so it's fine. Marshall will just play the chill hop playlist and call it a day. I don't like the chill hop playlist like a ton. Like, some of it is good, and like for lo-fi, it's good. It's just not my preferred genre of music. Thanks for joining us, Luke. See you next week. but I can't play my preferred music because of copyright. And also, we would lose viewers. Are there any specific artists you really like? I tend to not pay a ton of attention to specific artists and just like, okay, Jasper's being mean. But like when I was a kid, 3 Days Grace was one of my absolute favorites. I remember being like 8, and they were playing either in our town or nearby, and I like begged my parents to take me, and for some reason they didn't want to take their 8-year-old child to a metal concert or rock concert, whatever. And I'm still mad about that to this day. Not really, but I like Dead Poet Society a lot. That's one I usually go back to pretty often. But I listen to a very wide variety of music, so those are just the names of bands I can remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Mother Mother, I like them a lot. Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Arctic Monkeys. Who else? I think I'll just give you a cinematic trailer for the game in September as a wedding gift, and that's all I'll do. Sounds great. Arctic Monkeys. I'm guessing you don't like them. No, I do just like calling them that. First they need a P.O. box. Yeah, we're not gonna be making a P.O. box. We thought about it and decided that is not for us. Yeah, sorry dude. I'm too scared to send stuff anyways. Marshall, you believe me, right? That I could beat Hazel in a fist fight if Hazel didn't punch me? I mean, if she couldn't punch you, she would kick you, so she would probably still win. But to be fair, I know absolutely nothing about you, so maybe. I don't know. No, seriously, how am I still number 2? I've barely typed anything this stream. Maybe you've just been in the stream the longest? Because you tend to show up pretty early. I don't know how the ranking works. I'm 5 foot now. Okay. Hazel is 6'5". So I don't know if the odds are in your favor. How does this look? It looks good enough. It looks a little wonky in a way I can't identify at the moment, so I might be editing it later. But for now, she looks okay. So we can move on to someone else. Oh, wait, no, I didn't finish her foot thing. Okay. Let me just get a better view of it. Hey, where are all the squirrels at in Graycove? They do have like a section of the town where more of the smaller folk live, but also they'll just go where they want to. They're squirrels. I just haven't seen them yet. They're in the trees, yeah. Nobody told Hazel that I'm trying to fight, right? She's already been informed and is on her way to your location. Hazel is imminent. Good enough for now. So what is that thing anyway? A prosthetic? No, it's not a prosthetic. It's more like a brace that's been decked out so it doesn't look like a brace at first glance. Yeah, we tried to hint at an injury in the life of the matriarch. One sec, let me just pull it up so I can see it again, so I can remember where it is. Yeah, the one in the snapshot where she's fighting the lion guy, you can see her one leg is wrapped up. Okay, now I gotta find my reference for Ruskin. Give me a second, he's only in a couple frames. Oop, past him. There he is. I see you hinted very well even in chapter 5. Well, that's good. Good to hear. It was evident that she has arm wraps from fighting the old matriarch and a maimed face from the lion. Yeah. Well, I'm good that came across, because that was the intent. Okay. I'm gonna clean up. Good. Ruskin time. Hazel doesn't beat up short people, does she? No, I can't see that happening. Like, if it was a person who was actively trying to attack her, then yeah, fists are rated E for everyone. That's funny. But she definitely wouldn't go out of her way. Yeah, because she would be aware of the disadvantages Russell has because of her size. Or because of his size, sorry. All Hazel has to do is kick down at a shorty's head and the fight is done. Griff's weakness, be a confident woman. That's funny. Actually, I think this year is a little too far back. Bump it forward a little bit. How far scientifically or mathematically could Mother throw Ruskin? He's pretty light. And like, any physical disadvantage she has is not in her arms, so I want to say pretty far. Not throw in a mean way, I mean throw like strategically. Treat something high, for example. I think minimum she could toss him up onto like let's say the roof of like a 1-story house. You know, not like super tall, but she could get him up there. I don't know why that's the metric I'm using, but that makes sense in my mind. The wiki says Hazel has been known to be manipulative and sneak behind people's backs, and like I guess with the way she interacted with Ben, but really, yeah, I don't think calling her manipulative and like sneaking behind people's backs is entirely accurate to her character. I think the mammoth thing, like with Ben, to me it felt more like trying to like calm everyone down, which was a little manipulative, I guess, in the way she went about it, but Marshall, if they were America, she could throw Ruskin around 15 hamburgers. That doesn't feel like that much of a distance. Hamburgers aren't that big. Although maybe the American ones are larger, I don't know. Yeah, not to hit it on the nose, but her response feels like a classic fawn response. Trying to make everyone happy. To avoid conflict. Hazel is problematic media. I don't know if that's right either. What should the... I'm picturing he's reading like a classic kid's like picture book to them, or like showing it off. Actually, Ruskin can't read, I'm realizing, so maybe he's just coming up with a story and looking at the pictures. So what do you think he is reading to them? And it's not the Nightbean comic. One fissa, two fissa. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Nice. I don't think that one comes in like a picture book format. I'm picturing like just like classic children's books, so like I don't know, like Robert Munch, Dr. Seuss woodwork, something like that, like big pictures, very little text. So that is a very fun idea, but Fantastic Mr. Fox is like a early reader book. It's not a young children's picture book. Oh, the places you'll go? Excellent. Let me look that up real quick. Trying to figure out what a Seuss book is all about while not being able to read would be really confusing. Because it's nonsense, right? Like, all of them. For the final, I'm gonna remove this so people can draw in what they want. But I'm just gonna quickly doodle this in just so we have something to look at. Like, Ruskin was only told what the title is, so he is saying stuff that aligns with the hyena culture. Oh, the places you'll go stab a guy who hurt your sister. Truck Manual is fun, and I like the idea of it, but he is reading this to children, and a truck manual would just be words, like there's nothing for them to look at. So I don't think they would be this interested if it was just words and no pictures. They're interested because there's pictures and he's coming up with some story for them. Or like maybe at some point the matriarch read it to one of the kids, so he's trying to do it like by memory, or maybe she purposely changed some of the words to make it funnier or something for them. I don't know. Something fun and goofy. Yeah, sorry, I was concentrating on this. Yeah, it's just fun to picture them trying to come up with a plot from like a Dr. Seuss book where they can't read the words at all, because like if you flip through any Dr. Seuss, it looks like nonsense. Like, just look it up and try to picture what you would say if you had absolutely no context for the page, because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I can close some of these tabs real quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's finish drawing Ruskin. His stripes are the most annoying part of him. And I'm not looking forward to it, but it's gotta be done. Imagine Ruskin reading them A Bad Case of Stripes. I don't think I've heard of that one. Oh, yeah, never mind, I recognize that one. I'm pretty sure this one was in our... oh gosh, what was it called? We had a section of kids' books that were like kind of like self-help books but for kids, or like understanding different emotional things. So it was like a couple of them for like called like Fill Your Bucket, and there were like different emotional regulation ones. It wasn't just Pride books, but there were also Pride books, I believe, in the section. Oh, and there were a couple of really sad kids books in that section to explain death to kids. And one of them involved, like, this old man fox having to bury his pet dog, which makes no sense when you think about it, but it was just such a sad book, and I was flipping through it at Till when we worked at the bookstore. And it was just, like, making me sad on shift. Do not speak the forbidden tales, Marshall. Do not make me mention the sheep film. Oh yeah, we watched Sheep Detectives last night, and that was also so sad. No spoils. Okay, you got it. Yet to have seen it. That is fair. We won't say anything then. Yeah, after we watched it, Jasper told me that if I ever die, he's gonna become a sheep farmer, which he does not need to wait for me to die to become a sheep farmer, as I told him, but he said that was part of it. Yeah, no, you don't want to farm sheep, you just want to keep them. But you know what I mean. You just want to be a sad widower with sheep. Me and my bro were very disappointed with the Amazing Digital Circus finale in theaters, though we contemplated just watching Sheep Detectives, so we were doing it this week. That's valid. Don't spoil that one for me, because I still haven't seen it, and I keep meaning to. I've heard from a lot of people it was disappointing, which is a bummer. Rushed if I had to guess, that's how most things go. My experience with internet shows, I secretly suspect that most people who didn't like the ending are just sad that it's over and the ending wasn't perfect. Yeah, fair enough. Jasper and I have already planned the ending of both the first, like, Graycove major story arc, so I guess, like, book 1, and, like, the ending for the characters in general, and I'm obviously not going to tell you guys anything about that, because why would I? But I am curious how you'll react in many years once it comes out. I won't say anything about the finale for Marshall's sake, but I just wasn't feeling it with the characters or direction. I would be so pissed if I got spoiled for Graycove stuff. Yeah, which is why we're not gonna. And I appreciate you not spoiling that show, because I just have a particular hatred for spoilers that make me really mad. I like to experience media organically. I don't like looking it up on Wikipedia or like getting spoiled in that way. See ya, thank you for joining us. You know, imagine if the only picture of a human you'd ever seen was... Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. The author of The Giving Tree. And you thought that's what all humans look like. You're like, oh. It's a scary picture of him. Okay. Shel Silverstein, thank you. I was blanking. Okay, we have about half an hour left. I'm gonna focus on these guys. And let me pull up a picture of Nicola, because I want him to be a part of it. There he is. Okay. Let's have him be this one here. Matriarch special grandbaby. All are special to her though. Yeah, she loves all of her grandbabies. He would be sitting and reading, right? I find I have one of them standing because we used to do story time at the bookstore we worked at. And for some reason, some kids would just want to stand. They wouldn't want to sit down and listen. Or it's like when kids want to like stand really close to a TV screen. Nicola is a boy. Who does know how to read in the hyena camp? I assume Cherry and Matriarch, but what about any female guards? I think it would... My original idea was that it was only the matriarch and Cherry. That there would only be like 2 or 3 hyenas at a time who are able to read. But I'd imagined a lot of the hyenas are named after signs and other such things. That is correct. All of them are named after signs, and they don't know what their name is going to be until they return to camp to present their street sign to the matriarch. So Nicola didn't know what name he got until after he returned to the matriarch. What if matriarch makes the kids watch all the Terminator films as a way of making them fear technology? They don't fear technology. They actively like to loot stuff. But they're all streets in the Vancouver area, right? Yeah, Luke found all of them on Google. Imagine picking a name because you like the shape and then your name is Eugene. Worse than that, imagine if you picked like 3rd Avenue or something. Kid named 5th Avenue North. Kid named Beware of Dog. You know, they have to specifically get street signs. Like street name signs. If they came back with the wrong sign, they would be sent back out. And originally my idea with the numbered street signs is this: if they showed up with like a 3rd Avenue, they would be sent back out again. But they might just get named Avenue. I hate trying side views like this. You know your bloodline curse when you come back and get Avenue the 4th. No, maybe don't. Don't post your streets where you live. That's bad. We don't want that information. I live on tunnel under the bridge, where I interrupt trespassers with my riddles 3 and consume them if they cannot pass street. So if a hyena child came back with a legit street sign called Piss, would there be a hyena around named Piss? I did think of that. I did think about that the other day of like if there's like just a terrible name or like curse word street sign, what the matriarch would do, and I kind of pictured her just lying. So like getting this awful awful street sign name and just being like, yeah, it says Robert or something. Marshall on God, you must have lied about adding more music to the playlist, right? You can tell me where to be wed. I didn't lie at all. I did not add any more songs. I forgot to again. Like I said, the second the stream ends, I close my laptop, I forget everything we did during stream, everything I promised during stream, and I don't think about it again until next week. No, I said I didn't. Yeah, I might have said it in a weird way. You said, did you forget to add music? She said they, sorry they, damn it. No worries, feller. All good. Great. Hyena babies start off just like a solid brown color, and they don't get their spot pattern until they grow up a little bit. So to show that they're younger, I like adding just like a big patch of the spot color on their back, and the like, I want to say socks. the like the coloration on their feet that goes up a bit and then turns into spots goes a bit further up. So like past their elbows when they're kids. And they just have a couple of little spots. I couldn't think of the right word, but like when a dog has like a pattern on one of its feet, I've heard people call them like socks. So there's, instead of being like right here where an adult's would go, theirs are like up here. And then it's slowly, socks is their correct term? Okay, thank you. I lost all of my words right then, okay? I'm doing my best. Little dookie creatures. I didn't say that. Did I? Oh, Crispy said that. Okay. I was gonna say, I often mispronounce or pick the wrong word, but I feel like I remember saying that. That looks bad. Let's try that again. In the tabletop game I'm running, kind of based on Graycove, I named one of the important NPCs after the street I grew up on because it's an awesome name. Unfortunately, he is not a weasel, though. I'm suddenly so tired. Yeah, me too. But we're going till 9:30, so I got 20 more minutes. What flavor pizza you want? You don't even have to ask. Yeah, why are you asking? I get the same pizza every time. Wow, I posed this one terribly. He is looking at the back of the truck. I need to move these kids. Is that better? No. Okay, I need to change this kid's face. Hazel, try barbecue chicken. Wait, no. Hazel's a gross vegan. I don't think Hazel would be a vegan because she would eat cheese. Like dairy stuff wouldn't bother her, but she is a vegetarian. And she doesn't like eating eggs because she thinks they're gross. Okay, that's better. Before... She can't eat meat, Ma. Yeah, that's what Griff said. And she replied to the thing with, like, technically I can, I just don't because I think it's gross, which is also true with meat. Technically, herbivores can eat meat. They generally don't, but, like, most animals will eat baby birds if they come across them. Because it, especially during the wintertime, because it gives them extra minerals like iron that they need. But, like, you can find a video of a deer eating a snake. Nature's juice box. You called them nature's gushers before. Gummy bear. Nature's juice box was the softened version for the audience. Gushers is truth. That's funny. But I was being nice. I'm not. Read your prior demands. Replace one of the hyena babies with a mysterious Frankie. Can you put Frankie in the image just inexplicably? I don't think that's a good idea. This is a cute hyena family moment. I don't want to throw in a random Frankie. Okay, those guys look cute. Let's do this sleeping hyena with our remaining 15 minutes. Do you think it should be a hyena we've already established? Or a new one? So it would be kind of funny if it were, why am I suddenly blanking on her name? Foster. Yeah, thank you, Foster. Foster sleeping in the back seat. You got it. Okay, I need to... Whoop, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Delete that. Foster is mean. You only saw Foster in the context of that one scene, to be fair. Keep pressing the wrong button. I mean, yeah, Foster is a little mean. But, like, she's nicer around her family. Okay, where's my Foster reference? There she is. I don't remember Foster actually hitting anyone. She does grab Hazel's ear. But she's not the one who hits Griff with the bat. That is one of the unnamed ones. That hyena that hurt Griff had a unique design only for Hazel to flatten her out like a pancake. Yeah. She had to get revenge, obviously. Can I pennilously commission you to draw Foster being nice to Ruskin? I'm not taking any commissions right now, paid or unpaid. I need to go to bed, but I want to see the end result. We're gonna be wrapping up in like 15 minutes. Because now I know that Jasper ordered pizza and I want to go eat that. And also we usually end at 9:30 anyways. Especially not for birthdays. Yeah, for context, we had someone repeatedly message me trying to get me to do a free commission for them for their birthday, and I tried saying no politely, and that did not work, so I ended up having to block that person. I do have a funny bit for the hyena enemy names that I think I can share as a treat for the game. Nice, let's hear it. Foster is currently being nice to Ruskin by being asleep and therefore not terrorizing him. Does Foster always terrorize Ruskin? I mean, I don't think she is the nicest towards him. I don't think she would necessarily just be constantly, like, picking on him. Did she use a nose ring? I always forget to add it for some reason. From weakest to strongest, not so hyena guard, kind of hyena guard, almost hyena guard, really hyena guard, very much so hyena guard, ultimate supreme hyena guard. Nice. That's fun. Disc would probably be about here. It's kind of hard to see anything in particular with this vantage point, but that works for now until we put in the truck. Those little CZs. Okay. I wonder where this setting should be. Like if they're just in the woods somewhere, or if they're actually like on a street taking a little vacation. A cornfield. Why a cornfield? Do you know how annoying that's gonna be to draw? Farm truck? I could put them on a farm, but why would they be in the cornfield? A wheat field. One sec, let me look up cornfield so I can see just how annoying it would be to draw. Cool, very. Because it's pretty and golden like the painting you made me because you once loved me. Okay, first of all, that's very dramatic. I still love you. Second of all, that wasn't a cornfield. That was just a field or like hills, not even like a farm. And yes, there is an unofficial Discord. It was golden, that's what matters. They can still be in like a golden stay golden pony boy. They could still be in like a pretty golden with sunset beautiful scenery area. But it doesn't have to be specifically a cornfield for that to happen. Also, who's upkeeping this cornfield? Remember that film Sharks of the Corn? If we watched that, I probably deleted it from my brain. Okay. I will consider where they are at a later date, I think. No, there's gonna be plants. I just want to know what kind of scenery they're in. Are they near a lake? Are they near a stream? Are they near a river? Are they near mountains? Are they just in the woods? Are they in, like, the city? Oops. But I will consider that at a later date because it is 9:25. And I am there at a Tim Hortons. That's actually so funny. I might do that. I'll think about it later. But I'm very tired, so we're gonna stop now. This was very fun, and I really like the concept that we came up with. I'm definitely going to turn this into a coloring page. Because this is just fantastic, and I love it. And I want it to be a coloring page, and then I might fully color it myself and make it into a poster. But yeah, I hope you all had fun, and we will see you next time.